Hello and welcome back to the Game Bet Match podcast. I'm your host, Manny Friedman, along with my co-host,
Brad Sloan.
Back in the house, baby. So now you get to see both of our faces in one picture, right?
Yeah. We've been doing a lot of videos lately. I think they've been good. I just find it so much easier to explain my logic on a video than in like a long ass paragraph.
It is. So I hope you've been enjoying that. Like, please feel free to leave some feedback. Like, if you guys prefer the write-ups, let us know. If you want us to do longer videos, shorter videos, like, just let us know. Where this is a learning curve for us as well. So,
yeah, for real, guys. There's 687 of you followers out there now.
yes.
So, so I expect someone to get involved here because
yeah,
687 followers. There should not be zero comments. We got
yeah.
We got Taylor Eckstein, who recently just or Tyler Eckstein. Tyler Eckstein, we expect some commentary out of you. Jeff Reichland.
J-Rod has been
the top guys on our followers feed. But yeah, man, we're up to 687.
It's pretty good. This week has been really good for some reason, right? Like I
don't understand why we get followers versus when we don't. It makes no sense to me.
It's strange, but
our view counts make no sense either.
Yeah. J-Rod is one of our top followers right now.
J-Rod's the best, man. I love J-Rod. J-Rod's on like everything. Like commenting on like half the Twitter posts. Like, great job, J-Rod. We appreciate the support, man.
His likes are also instant. Like
instantaneous likes. Excellent liker of content. Kumami Bro's still up there too. He's
before I hit the send button, it's liked already.
Yeah. Kumami Bro's also up there. Kumami Bro's the original OG follower of the pod, and he's great. So yeah.
Yeah. All right, very nice. So what are some of your takeaways? I guess let's start with Astana.
That Greensport quarter match was so bad. Like, I woke up at 5 a.m. to watch that.
Yeah.
And I am so angry. Like, I was doing other stuff during it, but like, man, like it was just so bad. Like, and I forgot like how bad Greensport can be. Like, that was bad.
Didn't Korda apologize for like it being such a shit match or something like that?
He said like this wasn't either of our best matches. Like basically like Greensport's a better player than that too. Like, it was actually hilarious because not only did that happen, but then also like the interviewer asked him like what he was going to do to prepare for his next match, and Korda didn't really give much of an answer because he's like, "Yeah, I'll just prepare like I do for normal matches." And the interviewer didn't really like say anything more, like caught the question. So then Korda started saying like, "Oh, I'll hang out with the team, play some games with the team, see the physio, like get some food." Like,
oh my god. Yeah, that was bad. I mean, I don't regret hitting that bet, to be honest with you. Like, Korda didn't play very well either, right?
I mean, Grigsport was a disaster. Like,
he did win a set.
He won a set being a disaster. Yeah, I mean, it was like, honestly, I mean, like you and I, Manny, you love to talk tactics more than me. Yeah. And you're much more critical of player tactics, but like, I don't know, man. In a match where like you've been broken once in 2 sets, and where your opponent is really struggling on the return game, I really don't understand how you can back-to-back double.
I agree with that.
Like, that just can't happen. Like, that's not okay. Like,
and I don't know. I just felt like every time. Like, I felt like Greensport tried to go too big when he was getting rushed. I don't know if that's something you took away.
I just thought he went big in general. Like, forget getting rushed. Like, he just went big the entire time.
Yeah.
Like,
it's just not a smart way of playing Korda because like Korda is actually struggling. Like, if you extend rallies long enough, he's gonna end up missing.
And like the frustrating part is like I get you don't want to overplay to your opponent. But, like, during a match, you've got to have a little bit of a feel for the fact the opponent's not playing well.
I know.
Right? Like that wasn't, like, the issues for Greensport that I'm talking about were in the 3rd set. Like, if you come out and that happens, like, I guess it's understandable. You know what I mean? Like if you come out and that happens, like you're a little worried about the opponent, like you're trying to like feel out the match. I get that, but like you're 3 sets in, the opponent's really struggling on return. I mean, it was bad. I mean, it was just it was really frustrating. And again, like obviously, like I had Greek sport quarters and outright futures, and so like but like beyond the betting perspective, it's just like not good tennis. Like very, very frustrating to see. I mean, so quarter one, I mean, this guy, Korda, has won 25% of return points on your serve in the match through 2 sets, and you just gift him 2 doubles.
Yeah, it's just unacceptable. It's just it's kind of like Arnaldi doubling 3 times to get broken immediately against Yari. Like Yari's,
but like that I more understand because like that's the first game of the match. You come out like like there's some issues like I think that's bad too. Like don't get me wrong, that's also terrible. When I texted about it, I was like this is atrocious. What a garbage start. But like I think Greek Sports 2 doubles is worse than Arnaldi's 3. Because at that point, like Korda's shown you he can't do anything off your return. So like just get like why like don't give him points.
Yeah, you should be hitting like 3/4 first serves. If you're struggling to make serves, then don't go huge on the first. Go do a 3/4, get the ball, and then get start.
But Greek wasn't even struggling on first serve. I don't think. Like for the match,
he was 40 of 47
on first serves.
First
serve points won when he made the first serve.
He was 61.
No, he made 60% of first serve. 60%, which is pretty average. It's probably. I mean, I don't know Greek Sports first serve percentage offhand, but like 60% is the general average, and he made 61. So like, I mean, you just can't double, right? Like you just gotta. I mean, like you're a pro player, you gotta be able to get the serve in the box.
I'm still on the Korda fade, to be honest, though. Like I'm not pro.
Oh yeah, I agree. This is not an impressive win from Korda. I mean,
it's not.
He beat a top 30 player, but it really wasn't. It was.
I mean, going back to Greek Sport though, like this is the Greek Sport from like last year and the year before, right? Like this year he showed progress, a lot of progress, I would say.
Yeah.
Like the opening tournament win in Pune, right? And then it had a good run in Rotterdam. Like he's been really good this year.
Australian had a good run, right? He played
third round, but then
not bad. I mean, for a guy who's trying to make top 30 in the world, that's what you'd expect, right? It's round of 32.
That's true. And then finals of Washington, right? That was a good run. So like he's been good, and this match just showed a lot of regression from him.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's not, but like he also didn't play well against Show, right? Like Show took him to a third set, and I thought like
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I agree. He just like, I don't know. Like, it's interesting because like this is the kind of the interesting part. Like, I see a lack of rally tolerance, to borrow a Manny phrase. The question is it discipline, or is it just that he like literally like just like can't be a consistent player? Because I feel like this is kind of the Greek Sport MO, right? Is he just like it's kind of like go big all the time?
It's a weird question with him because like if he is that way, why has he shown so much progress this year? Is my question.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what has he done? What did he do differently in this match than other matches from a tactical standpoint? Or did he just play worse?
I mean, I think the answer would be he played worse, right? Like, because I do feel like Greek Sport is like, he's a very high-risk player, I feel like.
He is. I gotta watch.
You don't see very many long rallies in Talon Greek Sport matches.
You don't. But I kind of want to, like, now that we saw this match, I kind of want to watch some tape of him of, like, matches he did win and play really well and see kind of where he went different.
Went wrong? Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I think it'll be an interesting exercise with him because it is, I mean, that was a bad match. And, like...
Yeah. I mean, when the player that won says that, I'm sorry for winning, I don't think this was the best match we played, like... That just shows how shitty it was.
Yeah, I don't think I actually apologized, but I think I'm putting a little bit of words in his mouth. But like, he definitely said it wasn't the best match we played, which I'm going to take that as an I'm sorry to the fans.
Exactly. Some other things in Astana. So Monterino, I backed him to win the tournament, but in a kind of a different way, like back a player in the fourth quarter to win at plus 350 because you also had that Baez piece. Baez played terribly and lost to Rodionov early.
Yeah.
But like just his success in 250s, I was like, okay, maybe, you know, and he's shown some improvement on hard court, but Manarino is clearly the class of that quarter. I wish I just picked Monterino now. I feel like I'm a little bit higher on him than you. Would you say that?
I'm more spot dependent. I just don't like. I don't love this spot form, and like, I don't know, man. Like, are you really that like impressed by his run so far? I mean, he beat Rinderneck 6-2. I didn't see that match, but Rinderneck is Rinderneck. He beat Kakmazov in a third set tiebreak. Kakmazov's playing well, but he still is ranked outside the top 300.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll go up now that he made the second round of a 250, but like he's somewhere, and then he beat Rodionov 6-1.
Yeah, he kind of choked away that second set against Katrasov, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not necessarily impressed, but I'm impressed by his record this year and how he consistently is winning matches. You know, like when was the last tournament that he like really lost a complete dud match this year?
Oh, I mean clay, right? Like look at any of the clay,
but on like harder grass. I can't.
I mean, generally speaking, he needs quicker courts. Like, I mean, I'm gonna doubt he did well in Indian Wells or Miami at first glance. I don't remember anymore. It was too long ago, but yeah, I guess not a dud. Really, I mean, he lost to Eubanks in Miami, but it was 6-6. I guess that wasn't a great match. The match he lost to Eubanks in Miami, but
but there was also rain there, and like,
yeah, I guess
I don't know. I mean. Tia, he lost
to Taro Daniel. He did lose to Taro Daniel in Canada Masters.
Okay, that's a bad one. Okay, I give you that. But like other than that, it's pretty solid, right?
Yeah, I mean he's playing solid top 50 tennis. Like I agree with you on that. I just, you know, based like I think because he did so poorly on clay, and like, yeah, I think because he did so poorly on clay, I was not excited about his prospects here because of the slower court, but he's done okay.
But there's altitude, right? So it's a slower surface, but it still plays relatively quick because there's altitude.
Well, it's like in between, right? It helps the serve. Once you get into the rally, it's a little more, maybe more closer to neutral. I just think, Manny, I think where you're right is like he's just so much better than like the guys like. Because like Baez on hard is worse than him, right? Like Baez, you're just looking at, you know what I mean? Like, so right. I think the mistake here is like it's more just like you look at the guys he's playing and like they're just worse. Like you know what I mean? It's just like it's just a really weak field to be honest.
It is, but I also don't,
especially with Greek sport playing horrible and what?
I also don't penalize Monterino.
I don't penalize him for it. Like I said, I think he's having a solid year. I found it hard to back him to win this tournament. But yeah, I mean, look, he's got to the semis and he's the best player left.
Yeah.
I mean, Korda's probably a better player, but like his form is awful right now. Like I take Manarino's form over Korda's.
Yeah. I mean, against any of these players, I'm gonna feel comfortable laying games with Monterino, and I mean we'll go over that match against Offner, but like
yeah,
I think he's significantly better as well there. But who else was there? And how about the Dominic Thiem? I mean, he lost to Offner, he beat Giron, and who else? Urias. Like. I guess we're surprised whenever Thiem wins a match, right? Is that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more a comment on like, I think I made the comment on the pod, right? Like, inflation is sad, like war in Ukraine is sad, and so it's like I'm betting Juan Pablo Urias against Dominic Thiem. And yeah, I mean, I still feel that way. Like, I don't know that I don't think the money line bet on that match was bad at all. Like, we both lost. But like, I mean, Thiem was not looking good near the end of that second set. And I think if Urias was able to sneak that tiebreak out, which he had a set point,
yeah,
I think he had a set point on his serve, didn't he? It was 10-8. I think Urias had a set point on his serve. So like, you know, I think he might have had another set point on Thiem's serve. So like, it wasn't outrageous to think that Varias wins that match.
No, and I think because he started really slow, right? Like he got broken straight off the bats, right? Like that always kind of gets you, kind of sets you back if you get broken right away. Like I feel like if Arnaldi didn't get broken against Yari, he probably wins that match like early, right? Like it's just so bad when that happens. Can you explain the instance where you texted me about it, where you screamed at your desk at work and like when something happened with Varias and like karma hit you? Remember that?
I don't even remember at this point, man. This is like days ago.
Yeah.
What happened like earlier this week.
It did. You were like at your desk.
Sure, Varias made what?
You said you were at your desk. You yelled yes, and then I think team.
Oh, it was a challenge. Varias won a huge point. It might have been a set point. I don't remember if it was a set point or if it was a huge point in the tiebreak. And the ball looked like it was out. It looked like it was out watching the TV match, and like everybody played it was out. It was called out, and I was like, yeah. And then like team challenge, he had challenges remaining, and of course the ball hit like a sliver of the line, and like or maybe even didn't hit. Right? It's just like Hawkeye said the ball hit a sliver of the line, and like yeah.
You yelled this at work, right?
Oh, it was a double fault. Yeah, I yelled it. Yeah. It was a double fault, and like yeah.
See, we go to extreme measures. We have no shame. We'll embarrass ourselves at work, right?
Of course. Over a 1 unit bet for sure. Half unit bet maybe not, but over a full unit bet, that's full unit, man.
Yeah, that was funny. I got a laugh out of that when you said that you embarrassed yourself out of work over.
Yeah, it was a double fault. It was a double fault, and when it was a double fault in the second set tiebreak, the team had appeared to hit, and then the serve actually like, and then on top of the worst part of it is like, and it's the right rule. I agree with the rule, but when you double fault on or when it's a second serve that gets challenged. If the ball was called out and then it's actually hit the line, you get a first serve back. Right? So it was like a double whammy of like, not only does he get essentially a lead on it, but he actually gets a first serve. Which again, I don't disagree with the rule. It just like sucks because it wasn't like team second serve wasn't good, right? It was like it nicked the back of the line, but it wasn't like an error drawing serve. So it just sucks that like in addition to like not only does he have to get like another like not only does he have to like play the point over that he thought he won. But he also now has to like team gets an advantage, right? He gets to go from a second serve to a first serve, and it wasn't like I
necessarily agree with that rule. I think he should play a second.
I mean, it's tricky. I think it's really tricky. It's like the problem is like I would love the to make a judgment call as if like as to like whether or not the serve was attacking. I guess would be like the idea, and I don't actually want the rule to be this way, but like the theoretical ideal would be to say, okay, was the second serve like an attacking second serve or a defensive one? Because like in that case that we're talking about, when it's like a defensive second serve the team hit, like yeah, it sucks that he gets a first. Like it sucks for Varias to get a first serve back. But if you hit like an attacking second serve and you hit the line and the guy like barely gets it back in play, right? It sucks to have to take another second serve because like the guy just because it was called out. The guy really so it's like.
It will never happen, right? Like where the umpire gets it.
But and I wouldn't want it to. Can you imagine? Like, you guys how much? I mean, we've talked about how much of a problem the umpires have calling anything on clay and like getting out of their chair. You want them to make judgment calls? Like, it's gonna be a disaster. Like, I don't like theoretical. Brad wants this where we have like benevolent umps that like never make mistakes, but like, the umps. I mean, it's not an easy job, but. Some of the umpiring that we've seen on the tour this year has been absolutely atrocious.
Yeah, I agree. So I think that
I'm talking about the lazy umpiring. Like I understand missing calls, but like there's no room for lazy umpiring.
There isn't,
in my mind.
Yeah, I agree. So that really does it for Astana, right? I mean,
Bublik lost in the first round, and he pulled out of Shanghai. So it, was probably a fitness issue, I think. I'm sure he got a big appearance fee for showing up to, even though he's not a true Kazakh, like, I'm sure he got a huge appearance fee for showing up.
Probably. It just, like, since Wimbledon, he's just been atrocious. Like,
which makes me wonder, is there something wrong physically, too? I mean, but you never know. But the thing with Bublik is it's so much motivation, too. But, like, I don't know, man. Like, The question is, when will Bublik decide to be motivated again? Like, will he motivate up for like the Australian swing? Because like, I don't know, man. Like, it's so hard though, because like you and I would never be this way.
Yeah.
But like, man, I don't know, dude. Like, if I was Bublik, like, I wouldn't want to let it slide like all the way to grass season before I need my scalp to like
I agree. Once Indian Wells hits, I would try to get some points so you keep, you stay in the top.
Well, the problem is there's clay and he's not as good in the slower courts. Like, where he really should go for it is like Pune.
Yeah.
Like, Pune's a tournament he could scalp. And like,
well, February he actually tries because he likes that Montpellier and like like, those February indoor hard courts.
Well, it's those super quick French indoor hard courts.
Right. So
I think that's his time is Jan Feb. Like, I think, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. How about the Hamad? I haven't seen much of him. I don't know if you have this week, but
I haven't either. But we'll talk about him more because he made the semis.
He did, and I've been fading him consistently. I just thought like he's more comfortable on clay, and he just doesn't have the movement to, like last.
Yeah, again, like this tournament plays a little slower, even though there's altitude, right? The court plays a little slower, and we saw like Rodionov had a pretty good run here, right?
Yeah,
and like he's another guy who plays mostly on clay. Offner's a guy I think who prefers clay, and he's made the semis. Team won a couple matches here, so I think like it's a little bit more like the rallies play a little bit more like clay. I mean, not really because it still is indoor hard, so you don't have the elements, but like it plays a little bit like it's you can see it plays like a little more like a little slower, a little bounce, and like specifically a little more bouncy, right? Like you get a little more bounce out of the ball.
It's strange because like what you're saying is true, but there have been a lot of tie breaks here too, like that Jerome Wawrinka.
Well, the serve plays up, right? The serve plays up.
The serve plays up, but the ground strokes, I do. The ground strokes don't.
Yeah.
I guess like the thing with Hamad is that like he can hit through any court, right? Like he hits huge. But
I think that's part of it too, right? It's like with Hamad, like the upside is there clearly, right? Like it's just a matter of like
movement, discipline, right? Like,
it's everything else exactly.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, by the way, best name on tour, right? Hamad. You gotta love that.
It's a good name. I know there's got to be better name, but it's a good name. I like Rodionov too. Rodionov's a pretty cool name.
Yeah.
Manarino's a good name.
Yeah.
Marinara sauce.
Yeah, it's good.
By the way, I don't even talk about this yet, but Manarino strings his rack to like 20 pounds.
Yeah, it's insane. Insane. When you're close up and you hear him hit the ball, it makes a very, very light sound. Like you can barely hear it because it's strung so light.
Which makes sense. And he has like a slow, like for a pro, he doesn't generate racket head speed at all.
No, he doesn't.
Which makes sense, but if he did,
like little, like right, in front, like very small motion. Because
it's so bad to say, but seriously, like because you and I both play like tennis, like especially when we're playing doubles, like sometimes like we'll play doubles like some like older gentlemen.
Yeah,
and like he kind of plays like an old man game.
I don't know if I would go that far, but I mean he's so good at doing what he does.
Oh, he is. 100%. Like he's amazing. Yeah. Like I'm not bashing Manarino. It's just funny. Yeah. It's in a game where a lot of guys play very similarly. It's cool to see someone play differently.
It is.
Because he does play like a very different game, especially off the forehand. The backhand is more normal-ish because a lot of guys employ like a fair number of guys have started.
But it's so for being such a shovel backhand that has so much like it has no clearance right over the net, and he has that insanely loose string pattern. Like the fact that he's that consistent with it is like pretty impressive. Like it shows that how great his hands are. And
it is.
The thing which makes me appreciate him is that he lacks a lot in the athleticism department. He's not like a great athlete either, right? So it's like I feel like there are guys ranked below him that are way better athletes than he is.
I mean, he lacks a lot in like a lot of departments.
He does, yeah, exactly. He has a great slice serve out wide, though.
Yeah, and I think he just like he's a veteran, right? And this makes sense. But like he knows how to use what he has, right? Like he has a few, like he's got the flat forehand, he's got the wide slice, he's got the he's got like the angles, and like he uses what he has to really go like really effectively.
Yeah.
Other than that, yeah, I mean, I went 0 for 2 betting Marco Cerrone. Gotta stop. I don't know why.
You guys stop betting Marco Cerrone. Like
just every match, if he stay away, whether or not it's betting on him or against him.
What did I?
My feud just went bunk. I had Greek Sport and Wawrinka both win their quarters and win outrights, and everything went bunk there.
Yeah, the only one that I have is the fourth quarter to win, so I just need Arena to win the event.
Which you could get. I mean, honestly, like he's the best player left.
I don't think so.
You don't think he's the best player left?
Do not back Marcos Giron. Like you can back 3 sets, you can back the over, but like don't back him to win.
Well, I backed him to lose against Wawrinka, and he won.
But doesn't that mean that like if a guy like that who's kind of mentally weak came through or put so much energy into winning a match, and you said he played really well, I feel that there's always some regression in the next match. I know he was playing Dominic Thiem, so that's why
it was a fade on Thiem more than anything else. To be honest, it really wasn't like a being excited about.
That's why I hit the over. Luckily, I cashed, right? But like, I just think you're getting a guy that's playing badly versus a guy that's mentally weak.
Yeah, I hear you. Astana's not been good for me. Beijing, I think, has been a little bit better. Astana has not been good.
Okay, let's transition over there. Way better draw. I mean, this might be one of the best 500s.
Yeah, well, everybody showed up here, right?
Crazy.
We cashed our Hoffman bet. That was one of the more, like, even though it wasn't really that meaningful, like it was one of the more happy bets. I was more happy.
It was a happy bet. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, like we barely got there, but I don't know. Like it's
yeah.
Hoffman Hoffman hung in there. It's yeah.
Well, he broke back twice in the first set.
But honestly, like Alcaraz, he gives away a break every match. Like I feel like he's good to give for a giveaway break, one giveaway break per match. You can almost count on it.
Over on break props for Alcaraz is probably a really good play.
It probably is. Because I feel like he does. I just feel like he gives away like not a lot, but like one a match. He just like no matter how bad the opponent is, he just gives one away. Where he just like
he breaks so often himself,
and that's why it's like hidden in it's not like it's not criticized. Nobody really cares.
Yeah,
but like it's definitely a thing.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Like I think he still is like a little bit, especially in matches where he knows he's the favorite and he knows like when he plays like Hoffman and Musetti, like he knows he's gonna win.
Right.
Like as long as he shows up and plays a half decent match, he'll win. And so I feel like he gets I still feel like he's got a little bit of mental maturing to do there to like really put those guys away. Mm-hmm. Either put those guys away easily or like conserve energy by like one way or the other, just conserve more energy in those matches. But I mean, he's young, so it doesn't really seem to matter that much, but it does feel like it's like it's being super, super picky, but it does feel like it's an area.
It is. But I also think that there's some value there in terms of a betting perspective, because if you're getting like a dog, because if he plays someone lower ranked than Hoffman, right? You probably get 7.5, 8 game spreads, right? Like
probably 7. I mean, like Hoffman was 6.
Hoffman was 6.
I think, yeah.
I mean, I think it's like I lost with Musetti, probably because it's just an atrocious matchup. But I think in general, it's probably good to take the games in like a huge spread against Alcaraz early on until, I mean, you would have won every time if you took the games in Toronto and Cincinnati. Every match.
Yeah.
And if you did a rollover, I mean, you'd be a rich man.
Yeah, you would be.
So I think it's a profitable play. What else was there?
Musetti beat Kachanov, so Kachanov didn't end it had but I guess maybe he was just out of gas after that run in.
Probably. So we got it wrong. So Yoshi was the one that won a match, and Kachanov was the one that didn't.
But Yoshi easily could have lost
against Shang. That's true.
Like Shang won the first, right? And the second set was tight, and then Shang just ran out of gas. Like We talked about this on the last pod. Like Shang just doesn't have it physically yet. He just needs to get stronger.
Like he's running out of gas in a 3-set match when he had a week off. Like it's embarrassing. Like,
but this isn't that all that uncommon with 18-year-olds. You know what I mean? It's just like he's not physically ready for the tour yet. He's an 18-year-old kid.
Okay. All right. All right.
Manny, I know you don't believe he'll get stronger, but like that is. But honestly, for him, that's really the question. Is like, will he fill out? Will he grow? Will he get? You know what I mean? Because like I just think like, and it's not even like height. It's just like he's just like too weak.
It's just happens so often with him that he just bails out physically. Like,
but I feel like this is a thing with like a lot of these kids. Like they're just like they're not like, you know, like they're not like it's just physical strength. Like tennis is a, you know, like you watch tennis and like this especially happens to people who don't really know tennis. But you forget like playing tennis requires physical strength.
It does.
Like it doesn't look like it the way that like playing like American football or like basketball, like
right.
like, oh yeah, those guys are strong. But like tennis players are freaking strong.
Yeah, it requires core strength, a lot of leg strength, a lot of extension, right? Like,
and like if you don't have that, that's one of the things that it goes right away. Is right, like that's one of the reasons you need it is for the endurance aspect. Because like it's, I mean, like literally every time you hit the ball, it's like doing like an explosive squat or like an explosive lift.
Right.
It might not be as hard as like doing like a 300-pound squat, but like it's a, you know, and like, you know, if you're not strong enough and you do 100 of those and you're tired, you're done.
And if you look like at a guy like Medvedev, like he looks like kind of scrawny and stuff, but then when you see him like lift his shirt up, you see the most ridiculous 6-pack.
Yeah.
You know? It's like the guy is ripped.
It's the core strength. It's because tennis, you don't need to be like, you don't need to have like massive biceps, right? Like nobody cares about your biceps strength. It's all like it's core, and then it's like I would say it's like between the core through the knees, so like core, quads, glutes, like all that.
Right.
But Shanks is not near. I mean, and you can see like he looks so thin, and like and we talk about with Sinner too, right? It's the same problem for Sinner
at a much higher level, but yes.
Yeah,
I agree. But honestly, that's one of my regrets of the week, actually, is not laying games with Sinner against Yoshi. Like, it was only 4.5, and he destroyed him 2 in love. And, like, in hindsight, I agree everything is easier in hindsight, but I'm like, how does Yoshi win points against Sinner? And we always say, I think this is a great matchup for Sinner if it happens again, because, like, we always say that Sinner has the best, like, floating ball forehand kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or even backhand, right? Because he does it on both wings. Yeah. And like that's what Yoshi does. He kind of floats the ball up on the forehand, right? So this is a perfect matchup for Sinner. So in hindsight, I would probably lay, if they play again on a court like this, I'm probably going to lay 4.5 or 5.5.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense.
So
yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense.
Matteo Arnaldi. So he did cash a bunch of bets for us. He cashed a bunch of plus money bets. In qualifying, he cashed the money line against Vukic, plus 110. Then in the first round, he cashed the plus 145 against Wolf. And then I think in the second round, did we back him as well in the second?
I had a money line. And he lost me. Second. I mean, I had a money line against Wolf, and then I had a money line against a slight dog against Yari, and he had 3 match points. He had 5-6 love 40 on Yari's serve, and you're right. He did kind of chunk a lob at 15-40 that he could have. Like that was probably his best chance.
So yesterday was a second round match.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're in quarters of Beijing. It's a 32-man draw.
Right.
But yeah, he chunked that. He chunked it. What?
He was a dog against Wolf, a plus 145 dog.
Which is insane, I think. Because like Wolf just honestly, like Wolf, man, so we talk about like Wolf just isn't that good. Like you look at his year, and it's been a pretty underwhelming year.
It has.
For a guy who, and I think like we love him because he's like one of the more fun players on the tour. For an outside top 50 guy, he's got all like Wolf has a great name. Like you think Hamad has a great name. Wolf has a, you know, like the man who is also a wolf is the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, he just has not been good. Like, I mean, so this is his fourth consecutive loss in the first round of a hardcourt tournament, or first main draw round. He qualified in Beijing, but then he went out first round. It's not really that impressive. And like, yeah, he's like he lost. Yeah, I mean, it's just not yeah, his wins this year. So his wins this year are Mo, Albot, Hepfer, Cressy, Jason Jung, Quackod, Van Ash, Etch on Grass, which is not impressive. Jelle Sells, Hugo Delian, Hubie in Rome, which is not impressive. Like, that's like the worst tournament ever for Hubie. Hugo Grenier, Kudla, Jordan Thompson on clay, Bublik in a first round, or you probably just because Bublik didn't want to be there, so on slow Miami. Ivashka, Tiafo in Dallas, Albot again, Holt, Mo, Schwartzman, Jordan Thompson, the Australian Open, Manarino in Auckland. Since January, there's nothing there.
Yeah, he did have a good January. I'm gonna pump the brakes there. Beating Jordan Thompson.
I mean, he beat Manarino.
Hardcourt.
He beat Manarino and Thompson.
Yeah, we didn't know how bad Schwartzman would be. Mo he destroyed, and then
Well, we knew Schwartzman wasn't playing well.
Right,
like
right.
We already knew Schwartzman wasn't playing well.
And then Shelton going 5 sets. Okay, but yeah, I mean,
no, I mean he was good, and then Dallas one was good. But yeah, it's been a bad past 6 months.
It has. And when you list those wins, there's nothing that's like, oh wow, like. So I really
forget. Oh wow, there's nothing that's even like. I mean, I think the most impressive win there is probably Hubie.
I would say so, yeah. So let's fast forward to Beijing again. Like the fact that Arnaldi, who's been playing really good tennis, was a plus 145 dog against Wolf. Like, was this a book error or like what is this?
I think it's just I think it's just not like really. I think it's the market not really looking into Wolf, right? And seeing like, because like you look at base stats, like record looks okay, right? Like I don't know, Wolf is like 34 and like what is he with this year?
26 in the last 50.
But that's last 52. I'm trying to look at this year. He's 25 and 22 this year. If you take out Jan Feb, which we're saying he was better than, like, he's like 18 and 19. So like base stats look okay.
Yeah, but when you look at like scratching the like the last six months, or like scratching the record itself, like just looking at his lack of quality wins, that's alarming.
That's what I'm saying. If you look at the base record and don't go any deeper and go, okay, he's 18 and 19, that looks not bad, right? Like that's pretty much all. There might be 1 or 2 challengers in there.
Yeah.
No, there's not. So that's 18 and 19 on the ATP tour. That doesn't look bad, right? Like, especially when you're talking about a guy between 50 and 100, but like you look at what he's actually doing, and it's just not like he's. He's.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
He's beating weaker players and getting beaten by any decent player he comes across.
Yeah, to me, he's a fade going forward for sure.
Yeah.
Next person,
Arnaldi. I had Arnaldi at 14-1 to win the quarter. I don't regret it.
It's a good bet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's been really good. I like what I'm seeing.
I'm really excited to see him, man. I'm really excited to see what he keeps doing over the next year.
I agree. Tsitsipas.
I have a thought here.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to, and I think you're gonna hate this take. But my take is that Tsitsipas should just call it for the rest of the season. Hang out with Badosa, go do Instagram, like do whatever you want. Because like I honestly looks like he doesn't even like it. I don't know that he wants to be there. He's playing every week, but I don't know that he doesn't like. There's no inspiration in this game. There's no inspiration to improve. Like it just feels like he's got like I don't know like. And he's regressing. Like the playing every week isn't helping. So like, travel the world. Like you have plenty of money, do fun stuff, And like whenever you're ready, come back and like let's give it a real go.
I actually like that take, to be honest.
Now the problem is that he's too honest. Like what do you? I mean, honestly, what he really is doing is just fake an injury and do it. Just claim he's got like a back injury and like
yeah,
like. But yeah, because he looks completely uninspired. The game it's regressed. There's nothing like
he looks lost on the court.
He looks lost, mentally lost, and
lost.
Confused. Yeah,
like whenever some just an average rally ball comes to his backhand, he doesn't know what the hell to do with it. He doesn't know whether to slice it. He doesn't know whether to hit over it, and like he's making the decision way too late, and then he ends up missing it. And like,
I also wonder, I wonder if the shoulder's fully good. Because he never, remember he couldn't, remember back in Indian Wells, Miami, he like couldn't hit it.
I think it's fine. Granted, he made quarters of the French and like.
But he didn't beat anybody good. Like, you were the one who was saying the whole time, like, it wasn't a particularly impressive run.
Wasn't
I know it's 6 months
ago. It's hard to win 4 best-of-5 matches if your shoulder is not right.
You're probably right, Manny.
And then he played Wimbledon, right? And then he had a shit summer. And then like the Badosa thing. Like I think he's fine. I just think
probably mental. You're probably right. It's probably entirely mental. But like, I like, but it's been so bad ever since that shoulder. Because remember, he played fine. Like he had a good start to the year. Jan, Feb were good.
Oh, January was phenomenal. I mean, he made Australian Open final. If you watch,
we're talking about Manny. We're talking about the second best player in the world in January.
I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. Where would you put his actual ranking? Now,
if I was gonna power rank him, probably somewhere in the 40s, like 30s, 40s. It's not like that bad.
Yeah, I'd put him in the 60s.
Okay.
I think he's playing that bad right now. Like with Yari, you would think that, oh, let's hit the overs. Let's hit the over on tie breaks. Let's hit, over 1.5 tie breaks.
Yeah, you're right. That match he was playing that match
he was playing like complete dog shit. He didn't even get close to that.
But I guess he did win a title, right? He did win like Los Cabos, like he's done and again, it's not impressive.
Yeah,
but he's done something, and he made the quarters of the French. Like he still is ranked 5th in the world. Like I honestly think like that's the problem. Is like it's mostly because he's getting seated high and he's playing like all these small events, and so he's just way better than the guys he's playing. But he's almost doing too well to like get himself to think like creatively, where it's like, dude, this is not this is not anywhere near where you should be. No. Like, and you're right, man. Like this is a case of like eye test. Like, yeah, like it's just not good. Like the results have not been good, and like,
and the thing is with Tsitsipas now with his regression is like there's such a clear tactic to attack him, and he has no answers whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like Yari didn't even have to hit a bomb to his backhand, just hit a 3/4 regulation serve, and you're going to get a weak reply.
Yeah.
And just bomb the next ball. And I feel like these problems has impacted his forehand as well, because he feels the need to go so big on the forehand, because he knows how bad his backhand is, that like it's drawing errors.
It's hard to know. It's really hard to know. Like it's hard to disseminate like that from him just being like, to your point, like looking mentally lost on the court. You know what I mean? Like the backhand is his weakest spot, so it really shows up there. But he just looks completely.
The eye test is just like it's so alarming. It's crazy. Like I don't know.
Well, the results match it, right? Like he's had so many bad losses this year.
Yeah. So if Tsitsipas plays FAA in in a match, who would you back?
I mean, it's still back Tsitsipas.
I don't know. It's
like FAA can't even, like, Tsitsipas is still winning some tennis matches. FAA can barely win a match.
Except at Laver Cup.
Well, when the opponent isn't really interested in playing, right?
Yeah, right. Right. Yeah. I mean, you bet that Rune FAA match, right? That must have been... That was not a good bet.
Yeah, I think, did I bet FAA? I think I did.
You did bet FAA money line.
Yeah.
And even me, I was like, this is a match I'm staying far away from. Like, I'm not going near this, you know?
Yeah, that was a dumb bet. That was a dumb bet.
If I stay away, you should stay away.
That's really true. That's really true, to be honest. That's really true. Like, yeah, that was a dumb bet.
Yeah. One of our most painful losses of the week was that Rublev money line in the Zverev 2-0 parlay to not cash. That was brutal because Zverev was up 6-5. He was up a break, right?
Yeah.
He served for it. And Schwartzman, of all people, broke him back and then won the tiebreak.
I guess, to be fair, like, Schwartzman does break a lot. Like, he still has like a half decent break game.
Against Zverev's serve in this form, like, I was feeling good when he broke at 6-5.
I was too, but I still feel like Schwartzman's like return game is like average at this point. It's not that bad.
Okay.
It's just that like his serve game is so bad, right? That like
yeah,
he like in order to be a decent player, he has to be breaking at an elite level, and he's not anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think what was more disappointing is Zverev. You know, I mean, yeah, it was bad. And then I was kind of pissed, like Zverev also won in 3 sets against Fokina. Like, he's just winning ugly, man. I know John Reed on the Match Point 9 podcast points this out a lot, but like, just winning, he keeps winning ugly. But he keeps winning.
And that match,
Manny, you know what this shows? You know what it shows when you're winning ugly?
Mental toughness. Yeah, I don't know. Mental toughness and Zverev is like it doesn't fit. I don't know.
but he's showing it. He's showing it.
I did live bet Zverev when Fokina won the first set.
That was probably a smart live bet.
But like, and I got plus 190 too, because like I waited until Fokina held the first game in the second.
Yeah.
I hit it. Good bet. I don't know. I think like I can't call Zverev mentally tough for winning this match just because of how weak mentally Fokina is.
I didn't mean that this match. I just meant like the fact that he's now like this is all year he's won a ton of ugly matches. Okay. But like, I guess if I were going to make your point for you, he's not really doing it against top competition.
Right.
He's just winning ugly matches against like weak competition.
Yeah. And then when he's really struggling against top competition, right? Like if he say like the Rude match at the French, right? Because Rude on clay we can consider as top competition. He loses the first set 6-2 and then goes down an early break. You know he's not fighting back. And that's what I mean by him being kind of mentally weak, is that like there's no like I actually think he has the kind of like I think he battles, but he never really rises to the occasion. Or
right. We're talking about how there's like battling versus being, I mean, I don't want to say never, but like, you know, he did beat Medvedev this year, right? Like, so there's occasional instances of it, but it's not common. He beat Sinner in that 5th set. Like, I know both guys were gassed out, but he did beat Sinner in that 5th set. Like,
it's true.
So like it occasionally comes for him, but it doesn't come as much as you'd like to see. I agree.
Yeah.
Honestly, you know, it might be like if he just like, I think Zverev just does himself a complete disservice in the way he acts. Like, I think if he acted better, like, I don't think we'd be talking about this. I think it's mostly like
You're probably right.
He acts so poorly about it, like he just like,
yeah. It's just it doesn't like sway me in my bets though. Like I did bet back Fokina Zverev to win 2-0. You know,
yeah.
Like, so I don't know. I'm on a slight Fokina fade right now.
I backed Foki plus the games, which is so sad because like
that was the common bet on Twitter.
Was Foki plus the games, yeah. Well, the problem was I didn't really want to take Foki plus the games, but it was a really like frustrating spot as a bettor because like, and I feel like I run into these spots sometimes where I know the spread's like a half game off, but I can't find a bet to bet because like Foki to win a set was like minus 155 or minus 160.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't really want to do that. Like, you know what I mean? It was just like
you know he's gonna get tight late in sets and like, you know, potentially when he was up 4-3 in the tiebreak.
What I should have gone for, and I actually had it on in my bet queue and then I switched it up, but I should have gone for the Zverev over 12.5. That was minus 125. And I think that was probably the right bet.
That's the right bet. Yeah.
But so yeah, I have some regrets there, but yeah.
Medvedev de Minaur.
I don't feel you had the 2-0, I had the 3-set line. I mean, Medvedev did his thing that he commonly does where he implodes. He was up 5-2, 2 breaks in the first set. Yep. Imploded to 5-6 love 30, and then like he always does, he found it. But he easily could have imploded out the rest of the first set, which he often does. He often like, will implode out the rest of the set and then come back. Like, so I don't like.
I think we both hit good bets, and you got unlucky and I got lucky. That's how I summarize that match, right? Yeah. Like, you're exactly right. I mean, I hit Medvedev to lead 2-0 after 2 games versus de Minaur just because at plus 225, just because like I know typically in that match, one guy's going to start slow and one guy's going to start quick, you know, and like
I think it always ends up being so. There's a couple of these like with those two guys. I don't have the stats to back it up, but I feel like there's a lot of breaks when those guys play.
I think we were all over the over on breaks at the U.S. Open, and we didn't cash. Right, I think we missed it by 1 break.
Yeah.
No,
but that also wasn't like I think it came in pretty close to the total too, right? Like the over under probably came in.
It was high. It was like 8.5 for the match. So, yeah, I guess there are a lot of breaks in that matchup. But Medvedev had break point to go up 2-0, or he had break in the first game and then held. So, I guess like not a bad bet, but I mean, there are some matchups where you have to be careful about hitting the over on breaks. Like Medvedev versus Djokovic, you would expect there to be a lot of breaks, but there aren't. And in that U.S. Open final, there were very few breaks.
Yeah, that's a weird one. Some of these matchups are weird the way they play out like that. I agree with you.
But that was also a trend, and you talked me out of hitting the break prop in that match, and I was.
It's tough because like there's so few matchups though, where like you have that head-to-head data to look at. Like,
yeah, like
the top guys you usually do, right? Because they're making like the late rounds of tournaments, so they happen to play each other. But like when we talk, usually there's like 2 matches to look at head-to-head, if that. So it's like so hard to look at. Like you have to really try to project out style matchups, and it's so hard.
It's hard. Yeah. How about the Dimitrov versus Rune match?
I didn't see it, but I had the under 23 there, which hit. And I think you had the money lines. We both hit that, which was kind of nice.
Yep. Plus money, plus 105 I got. I don't know. I'm not convinced with Rune just beating FAA.
I'm not either. I'm just never convinced with Dimitrov ever.
Okay, fair. Yeah. Got lucky. Etch versus Rude was a very fun match. I saw some of that.
Was it well played?
It was well played.
Good? Okay.
Good. I didn't see the first set where Etch dominated, but like the second, third sets were well played. Okay. It was quite impressive. And like after Rude won the tight second set, like I was impressed that Etch kind of dug in and forced that third to a tiebreak. Like it was a good. He's showing improvement on hard court, Etch. So, still a lot of improvement. Like Rude is not playing like a top 10 player on hard right now. So,
yeah.
But all right, so let's preview.
BB Bulldog of the week might be Hugo Humbert.
Okay. I guess Arnaldi
because you hit the money. You and I both hit the money line on him against Sonego, right?
I did. Yeah, but that was minus 130, so I'm not.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
But then we got the 3 sets against Rublev.
That was good. That was a good hit. Good.
Which was fun. And he beat, because I mean, Hugo's capable of this kind of tennis. He's playing a little better lately, which is kind of cool to see.
He is, and when he plays better, he's basically what Rublev is all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
All right.
That's all I got. Not much else.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's talk about the matches for tomorrow.
Yeah, let's go into it.
Yeah.
Starting Astana. You want to start in Astana?
Let's start in Beijing. They just started one of the matches, so that's.
Yeah, I didn't have any play on Medvedev versus Humbert. The spread was 4.5.
You had no play.
I had no play. It's just starting now. You could probably get like basically that is the pre-match odds right there.
It's just starting now.
Yeah. I didn't have a play here. I think this is the right line. I actually had this as 4.25 was where I came up with on the spread, which is basically what it is because it's like a juiced. It's like a juiced 4.5. If you want to take them there.
I think it's right too, to be honest. If I had to play something, I'd probably play the 4.5. Like I think it's more like 4.5 than 4.25. Because like Bear has the thing with him is he has a very low margin game. And if he's a little bit off, it's very problematic for him.
Yeah.
And like I think
the problem is Medvedev. So the opposite problem is that Medvedev can implode at any time. And if he implodes, like he won't lose the match, but he could implode. Yeah.
What percentage of matches would you say Medvedev implodes?
I mean, it's high, man. Like,
it's
high. I mean, we watch enough Medvedev matches, right? Where we probably can go through match. We can probably go through like a sample and talk about some implosions. Like, so I would say, I mean, since August, I would say he imploded against Baez for a set. O'Connell was a minor implosion, right? Because like that's the thing with his implosions. Sometimes his implosions just cost him sets; they don't cost him matches.
Right.
Right. Like De Minaur at the U.S. Open, he imploded for the first set. Rublev really wasn't good. It's just that every time that like he gave Rublev,
it was so hot, right? So he didn't even have the energy to implode.
But he sort of did, and then Rublev just give it back to him, right? So it didn't matter either way.
Right.
So like I don't know. That's if De Minaur again in Beijing, he had an implosion. Like, I mean, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's like 4 of his last 7, 4 of his last 8, something like that.
How long,
so like,
and how long do those implosions?
I say they're like 4 to 5 games.
4 to 5 games.
Yeah.
So they played twice, and Humbert beat him both times. Last time was ATP Cup.
Just have a hard time getting excited about a 2020 win on clay and an ATP Cup win.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe I'll play something live there. That might be the way I handle that. Like if I see an implosion, maybe I'll play Humbert.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right. It's a tough match to handicap. I think it's pretty well set. Zverev against Yari. So I've struggled a lot with these matches. I was looking at these lines and like it was kind of hard for me to pick bets here.
I'm going the over here. I've actually split my bet here. I went with the over 22.5. I might have gotten it like minus 115. Might have moved a couple cents. I can't remember if it was minus 115 or minus 120, but in any case, like I just don't think this should be a neutral over under. The other play I have here, like I think like 23 I would stay away, but I think 22.5 is probably just enough to hit. I don't think it's like an amazing play by any means. Like I said, like if it was 23, I would stay away. But I just don't think it should be a neutral over under. I mean, Yari's service so good, right? Like it's just the natural thing you look for in any Yari match. They've split this year the H2H. Yeah, Yari won in his kind of best area, which is altitude clay. Zverev won on grass. Both times they went to a tiebreak in the first set. So the other play I have here is the first set tiebreak at plus 250.
Interesting.
Partially because of the trend, but then also like it's a like it makes sense, right? Like when both of these guys are serving at their best, right? It's hard for either of them to win a game on the return. Especially true off of the Yari serve.
I agree with that, but how many times did Yari get broken by Arnaldi? He got
twice.
Twice.
Yeah.
Okay. But he did face 7 break points. He only won 73% of first serve points. That's not like that much against Arnaldi.
No, it's not.
And he only
It's
won
really
54% on second serve. So I do think he's breakable. I think he is susceptible to getting broken. I don't know. Then you also have that Zverev. I mean, I know he had the day off, but like the recovery from finishing at 2:30 in the morning, does that like affect his body clock now that he's playing during the day?
I'm okay with it given he had a day off. But I hear you. I hear you. I think that those are good points. I'm still on it, but I'm not super confident in it. It's not like a play of the day kind of bet. It's just like it's a bet that I have out there. Small play. Honestly,
rather
probably the play I like more is the half the half a unit on the first set tie break.
half a unit on the first set tiebreak? What price did you get there?
250. 2.5 to 1.
I don't see it anymore.
If you look at first set score 7-6 is plus 250.
Oh.
Yeah.
There we go. It's not good enough for me. I can see some breaks here. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sprinkle 1 unit on Zverev to win and over 22.5 at plus 175.
Okay. I don't think that's terrible either.
Yeah.
That's part of why I like the over is because Zverev's just won so ugly, right? Like why would this if he can't beat Safulin in straights, if he can't beat Mirmir Kecmanovic in straights, if he can't beat Pavel Kotov in straights, why is he beating Nico Yari in straights?
Yeah, I'm still not really convinced with Yari's form. I'm not looking into that Tsitsipas win and like the fact that he faced 7 break points against Arnaldi. Just played a 3-set match yesterday. I can see some regression in Yari's game. So
fair point. It was a long 3-setter.
I don't know. I still rather hit the over. Like if this was plus 150, I'd probably stay away. Like just like the under. But the fact that I'm getting plus 175 for the over and Zverev to win, that's why I'm taking that. But yeah, it's not a play of the day, but like, okay.
Yeah.
I'll go there. Next match is Carlos Alcaraz against Casper Ruud. Rematch of the 22 US Open final. Alcaraz is a 5-game favorite, minus 800 on the money line. Ruud is plus 525, and the over-under is 20.5. You have a play here?
I'm gonna lay the 5 games with Carlos. Like if you look at like if you take away that Cincinnati and Toronto, if you look since the US Open, he's been pretty good at covering like these spreads.
And I agree with you. I think this will be our play of the day because like what does Ruud do differently than Musetti at this moment?
Oh, I mean, Ruud's forehand is a lot better than Musetti's. The backhand doesn't float as much. Like Ruud, like he's better than Musetti, but I hear your overall point. I don't disagree. Like Ruud is not on a hard court. Ruud is not that great on a hard court.
But I
don't think it's an amazing. I don't think there's a
Musetti.
ton of value here. Like this isn't anything like the Wolf Arnaldi bet or even the Greek Sport quarterback where I was like, oh my god, I can't believe this line is sitting here. Like honestly, if this was like 5.5, if this was 5, like this is 5 at minus 105. If I had to give up minus 120 to get the 5, I wouldn't, and lay the 5 and minus 120, I wouldn't do it. So like it's literally like barely worth anything to me, but I am playing this. I just it's like a soft play, but yeah, I'll play this and I'll lay the games out. Crash just like you. Yeah. And I don't know what else. There's really no other option here. I mean, the only other option here is to play one of the over unders type lines, but
yeah, I tend to agree with you. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll lay the games. I mean, are you confident enough to make it a GBM play or?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. Yeah, it's the only play on the board for sure. There's no doubt. No doubt. Dimitrov against Sinner. Dimitrov is a 4-game dog. Sinner is -4 in the money line. Dimitrov is plus 250. Sinner's -310. Over under 22.
I think this line's pretty well set. Like I would put it at 4.
Have these guys played?
I think they have, yeah.
One. Sinner won in Miami 3 and 4. Dimitrov won 3 years ago in Rome.
I don't really care about 3 years ago, right?
No, I don't either.
I think this line's about as good as it gets. Like it's like pretty well set by the book. I mean, Sinner's clearly the better player.
3 and 4.
I think Dimitrov would be better off if it was a lower bouncing, quicker court, because then that slice might be a little more effective. Even though slice isn't particularly effective, like it'd be more effective.
We talk about how Sinner handles the high ball and how he just destroys it. How does he handle a slice?
I don't think particularly well.
I can't remember how he deals with slices. Does he bomb the ball back? Does he slice it back?
Yeah, that's what he does on every ball, right? Like he hits big every ball.
Yeah, he does. I just don't know, like, if Dimitrov tries to engage in these, like, cagey rallies, right? Where he's, like, getting the pace off the ball. Like, is Sinner gonna...
I mean, if he does that, he probably has a better chance just because, like, Sinner doesn't love coming to the net, right? So, like, he's not going to put together, like, those types of rallies.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but I don't mean...
What's Dimitrov to win a set here?
-110. Like, that'd be a lot more enticing to me if it was +110, personally. Like, I would start to think about it.
Yeah. Sinner 2-1 is +270. Sinner over 12.5 is -125. It's too much juice, right?
I mean, it's tough, man. Like, Sinner, it's yeah. I don't know. I don't have a play here. Like, that's kind of my overall take. I think this line's pretty well set.
Okay. That's probably where I lean, is the over 12.5.
Yeah, I mean that makes a lot of sense. Like, that's not a bad lean.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't think like it's a lean. The 4 games, like laying the 4 is a bad lean. I mean, but it's a really, really tough line to hit.
I mean, it's not juiced. It's -105.
That's why it's kind of interesting. But I mean, I'm not going to do it. But it's like moving towards the territory. It's kind of interesting.
Fair. That's a tough match to handicap. I thought all of them were kind of hard to handicap because, like, that
Well, I think the entire card is hard to handicap today. Like, I don't even love the 2 bets I have on the board. They're just like, I think there's a tiny, tiny piece of value there.
Yeah.
I think you missed it. You got to go back up.
Go up. Okay. So
For the
Korda
Astana.
and Hamad. Korda's a 3-game.
This is my bet of the day.
This one?
I am all over the overs here. I don't think Hamad's been broken yet this week. Korda, despite his issues, is still doing a decent job of holding serve. We've talked about how many tiebreaks there have been in Astana this week. Korda's play has been up and down. Like, I mean, to be fair to Korda, right? Like, it's kind of like Wolf in a way. Like, he's playing bad, Korda. Like eye test looks awful, but he still is winning some tennis matches. I mean, he made the semis here.
Yeah, he has no confidence in himself. He decided to travel to Kazakhstan to play a weaker field than stick around in Beijing.
I get it. But, like, my point is, like, against this weaker field, I mean, look, he he did. I mean, he didn't lose a match in Winston-Salem. Like, he made the semis, and then like he looked awful doing it. But he made the semis before he bowed out because he didn't want to, because he wanted to get ready for the US Open, which he then blew against Fucsovics. But like, he did win 2 matches in Zhuhai. Like,
so are you putting him in that same Zverev winning ugly category?
I mean, is at a much lower level, yeah. But like, I don't trust him to win. But like, if you look his losses since July, well, you can even go back. I mean, his recent losses are he lost to Kachanov and Zhuhai. Fucsovics at the US Open. Like, Fucsovics is ranked in the top 60. He's not that bad. I lost to Coric in Cincinnati. Again, like, Coric is ranked in the top 20 in the world. Like, it's not that bad of a loss.
Mm-hmm.
Lost to Vukic. I don't like Vukic, but I mean, there are some bad ones. Like, if you keep going back further, but like, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fact that like the altitude, like.
How about this bet? 2+ tie breaks at +750.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna hit that too. The other bet I had done is I had done Medvedev over 12.5 at +125. So the last time Korda lost a match where his opponent only won 12 games was Alcaraz in Queen's Club.
Interesting. That's an interesting case.
And then that's the only time this year that's happened, where he's lost a match and hasn't gotten to 5 games in a set. So, like, Hamad's not going to win this easily. So then the question is, can Hamad get a set? Well, I guess the second question is, can Hamad get a set? I mean, the odds on Hamad getting a set, if you just play that, are -155. If I do it using this over 12.5, I get +125. And I don't think Hamad's going to get broken twice in a set. I mean, he has gotten broken the entire event.
He just destroyed Lechka 3-4, which is a really good win.
It is.
So it shows that he's playing well. And then, like, he just won it. Well, no, he hasn't played since end of August prior to this week.
Yeah, I mean, those are my plays. I actually, I mean, like, I like the over 22.5. Like I said, Korda's not, like, to be fair to Korda, he's losing, like, he's not playing well, but he's just playing a ton of competitive matches that shouldn't be competitive. But like, he's a level above Hamad too, so why would this match go any differently?
Yeah.
But I don't like, Korda's playing a decent enough serve game. I don't see him getting blown off the court either. Certainly not for 2 sets. Like, so I think I like all the over stuff. I think the tiebreak bets is interesting.
You know what I'm going to play here? I'm going to play something unconventional, but I'm going to play Hamad to win and over 24.5 at +400.
What is Hamad 2-1? If you're just going to play that, what is the Hamad 2-1 line?
+500. That's interesting.
I think that's better than the Hamad and over 24.5. Like,
I just like what I'm seeing. Like, I love this 3-4 against Lechka. I didn't see the match, but like, just how he played, like, winning 71% of first serve points, save 4-4 break points, 3-4. That's comprehensive.
The scoreline's comprehensive. The points won was, I think, pretty similar. The return points 1% was basically the same for both guys. I don't think it was as comprehensive. Like, I mean, he still was against Lechka, so he still was playing like at Lechka's level, which is good. Like, it wasn't like Lechka was like playing better. But I think it was probably more even than 3 and 4 shows. I think Lechka went 0 of 2 on break point saves. Like there were 6 break points in the match between the two guys. Hamad went all 6.
Fair.
So I think it was a pretty competitive match, but Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I think the over here is a really good play. It's my favorite play by far of the day. Like, but any kind of overs, like, yeah, I don't know.
I was gonna follow your lead here because like I had no idea how to play this.
I also think like both these guys, like especially like Quarter's been lately, he's been very up and down, and Hamad's very up and down in general. So like 3 sets could be in play here, but I prefer the over 22.5 just with like
the tie breaks.
Well, the tie breaks, the altitude, like the fact that like both guys are playing better on serve right now than return. So yeah.
So you know what? I'll tail you, but I can't make it a play of the day because I just like I was following your lead here. I really had no idea. Your logic makes sense. Your logic makes complete sense. But I don't know. I struggle back. Well, I'm struggling backing both guys because I'm struggling backing Hamad because of like experience, movement, all that. And he's playing a guy that's like has that pedigree, right? But then
he's playing a guy that's better than him. Like at peak form, Quarter wins this. Like
right.
But then again, like how can you back Quarter to win this easily?
Based on the way he's looked. So it's hard. So I guess the over.
I think both guys are gonna give effort. Like I think both guys want this match.
I agree. Yeah. I'm gonna sprinkle because I'm getting plus 500 on Hamad, like 2-1, and if like we think it's going over, like Hamad can serve his way through a set, right? Like if Quarter's not playing well, so I'm gonna sprinkle on that. But this is my bet of the day. Offner Monterino here, laying games with Monterino at minus 105. Like the fact that I'm getting 3 games not juiced, I love that. Like I don't think I don't. Offner just had to go 3 sets against Team, right? Like hardcourt is not his favorite. He's had a good week, but like I don't think he's like I think this should be at least 3.5.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't necessarily agree. I mean, I think this should be between 2.5 and 3. I'm not. I mean, this is just like you just like Manarino more than me.
Yeah, I think that's what it boils down to.
Yeah, I still don't love him in rallies on a slower bouncier court.
Manarino 2-0 is plus 135.
Yeah.
I think I like that better.
I mean, look, I think you can make a really good argument for it, right? Like the challenge here is like Offner really hadn't shown anything on hard court all year until this event. But like he does have a win over Fusbitz. He does have a win over Team. I don't know.
The Bublik match you have to kind of cross off.
I crossed off the Bublik match. I said that's why I said Team and Fusbitz. I mean count Bublik. Right. I don't know. Like I guess my question is like, is Manarino really 3 games better than like an average ATP tour level player on this surf on like a slow hardcore with altitude? Like I honestly he's probably I'm not playing this either way. I don't have a play here. I think this line is well set. Because I actually do think Manarino is like either 3 games better or he's like 2.8 games better or something. But like I think this line is pretty well set. Might not be exactly right. I might think it's maybe like a full 3, but it still is there's still a little juicier against at minus 105. So if I think the line is a true 3, then I really shouldn't take it.
But you know what? I think I'm gonna actually hit the minus 3 because like he is susceptible to losing sets like he did against Kachmanov. Right. But he always kind of competes, right? Like it's very often that like he might play a bad set, but then he gets it back.
Yeah.
Finds his timing again. Like that happens a lot in Reno matches.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna play the -3. It's not even juiced. I think this should be 3.5. So we differ by like 0.7 games, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So okay. All right. So my plays are Monorino -3, the Corda Hamad 22.5. I'm just going 1 unit there, since I'm taking your lead there. I didn't really have a lean there until you kind of you convinced me, but your logic was good. Alcaraz -5 is going to be our play of the day. I also have Hamad 2-1 just as a sprinkle, and I have Zverev to win and over 22.5, plus 175. So
Yeah. So I have the play of the day. Obviously I've got the quarter that I convinced you on. I also have Hamad over 12.5. So I've split my unit there. I went Hamad over 12.5 for half a unit plus 125. And then my other play was, what were the matches in Beijing again? I had another play in Beijing. Oh, I have the over 22.5 on the Yari Zverev match, and as well as the first set tiebreak at 250 at 2.5 to 1.
Okay.
Both head-to-heads between them have gone to the first set tiebreak. So
yeah.
Mind.
I think I'm also gonna hit the Sinner over 12.5 in the Dimitrov match.
I think that's the best play in that match. I'm not gonna hit it, but I think it's the best play in that match.
A 1 unit play. But
yeah. Tough board, man. Really tough board. Like the fact that the thing we're most confident in is like I'm like I don't even love the Alcaraz bet. Like it's a decent bet. Like it's a don't love. Like it's a really tough. I think it's a really tough board.
It's a tough card. Anything catches your eye in the Shanghai qualies?
Who is Dominic Pallon?
I don't know.
Because I would look into that guy a little bit, because 5.5 feels like a lot for Lloyd Harris to be laying against anybody. Just given his struggles on return games.
This Sekulic guy played pretty well in Zhuhai, I believe, or Chengdu.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's true. Anytime there's a 5.5 or 6 game favorite in I mean, this guy's show is actually playing decently.
Yeah, but he's giving up 5. Like again, anytime you see 5 in like one of these matches, man, 5's a lot.
The problem is sometimes they're playing guys ranked out of the top 700, 700-800. So it's.
But then how do you even evaluate those guys, right? Because like a lot of those guys are like young dudes who just aren't like just don't have enough matches in. Like,
how about Garisimov even money against Tonglin Wu?
Yeah, that feels like a good bet. I mean, that really feels like a good bet. Like, but honestly, it's tough because like the problem is like you got to remember too. Like, these are. I mean, Shanghai used to play super fast.
Right, but we haven't seen it in 3 years. So I want to kind of hear what Twitter and like.
Well, I think we need to see matches played on it. Nobody's gonna be able to tell you until we see matches played on it, right?
Did they change the? I don't even know if they changed.
I don't even know. I don't know either. I have no idea. So
maybe we should hold off and wait until we.
Yeah, I'm not actually gonna bet anything there, but I think that at first glance, I'm taking a look at some of those big spreads. So like 5.5 on. 4.5 for Duckworth seems like a lot, but you have to lay -130 juice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, takeaway from the weekend, also is Ryder Cup. I actually enjoyed some of that this weekend, and like.
Oh, Ryder Cup's great. Like, and I think but I think like a big piece of it is, man, like. So the American guys are all true, like they're all Americans, right? So like there's no like that's easy. But like the British guys, like they're also remember the European has a European tour. So like McIlroy spends, I think, the majority of the year on the European tour. So do most of those European guys. Like they'll come over to the US for majors and for some of the big events, but I think they spend most of their time on the European tour.
McIlroy doesn't, I think, but some of the other guys like McIntyre and some of those rookies that they. I forget their names, but yeah, there are a few of them who are there because like they played this on the course in Italy, right? And it's like they only have that event in the European tour, and that's why the US guys just started so slow on the front 9, right? I think they all got there early. Like, this is not an exhibition. It's not like the Labor Cup.
No,
This is really serious. They almost had a fight in the parking lot. Did you see that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
that would never happen at Labor Cup, right? They're all like hugging each other. I mean, this is serious stuff. And like, it was high drama. Like, I know that Europe was really far ahead, but like the US chipped away at that lead pretty well today in the singles.
Yeah.
So, yeah. My bet there was Europe to win by 1 to 3 points because I thought Europe would win. I should have just hit Europe to win because like I think you could have gotten that at -110, and that's a plus EV play.
Yeah, that is plus EV for sure.
Yeah, but it was enjoyable. I loved it. It's like the first time I really like sat down and watched it, and like I liked it. Great team event.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of things that so yeah, there's a lot of things, right? Like, for one, there's a true home team, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a true home team, so you get that true home feel. It feels more team oriented. I'm not sure why. Like, I think there's something that has to do with it. Like, I just think like the event is staged with that. Like it looks like a serious event. Like they play serious formats. Like
the points are the same throughout the event.
Yeah, like like the event just looks serious, right? Like they play like regular match play, and like even when they do like the not goofy, but like when they do like the doubles events the first 2 days, like
foursomes and 4-ball have a place in golf. Like that's been in golf for a while,
right? And I think that's the other thing too is like I was thinking that like would it be interesting if Labor Cup instead of having one singles and like okay look we all and like this is part of the problem we talked about like so like really what everybody goes to Ryder Cup for is the 12 singles on Sunday.
Right.
Like that is the highlight of the event.
Yeah.
But golf has 2 days of basically doubles formats, right? Like the equivalent of doubles formats in tennis, right? Yeah. 4 balls, 4 sums or whatever. Like I don't really even understand how the different formats work. I'm terrible with my golf knowledge, but like, like they're like 2-on-2 formats, right? Like there's some sort of 2v2 format.
Right.
The majority of club players in tennis play doubles.
Yeah.
I think it'd be really interesting if the Labor Cup did a doubles day.
I tend to agree with you, and like
and if every guy on the team had to play doubles, like that would be kind of cool.
That would be cool, and have
like every guy on the team had to play singles and doubles, like
and then 4 different combinations of doubles.
Yeah.
Right. Like that would be really cool. So you do that. Maybe you do that for the first day, right? Just all doubles.
Yeah.
Right. And then for the next 2 days, then you do all singles. Right?
Yeah.
Like I think that would be really cool, and just make the points the same, because if you do 4 like doubles should even the playing field.
Yeah, and like could you get like well, I mean it wouldn't even matter, right? Like and run like they'll never do this, but like run a whole bunch of matches on that court. So go like I don't know, go like 4 doubles the first day, and then go like 5 singles or 6 singles each of the second 2 days. Like tournaments do it, right? Like regular ATP.
They're playing a third. They're playing a tiebreak, right, in the third. So these matches.
Well, don't do that. Play full thirds, but run like.
They're never gonna do that.
I know that.
They're never gonna do that. I wish they would too, but yeah. I mean, part of the reason why Ryder.
But that's part of the problem, right? As long as you have it be the third set's a 10-point tiebreak.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a serious format because everybody knows that serious
it's
like
gimmicky. Right.
Yeah, it's gimmick. You know what I mean? Like, and the more
it's like Ryder Cup. There, it's like them playing 9 holes.
Exactly. Exactly. If they were done 9 holes in Ryder Cup, like nobody would watch it because it'd be like this isn't golf. Like,
right. Exactly.
Yeah. But I do think the doubles day is something they should explore because like doubles is like the preferred club format. Like if you go to a tennis club, you will see majority doubles.
I agree. And I think doubles would be more popular if singles guys played it more consistently. Like top players played it more consistently.
A, that,
right?
and B, like if they just do something to market it instead of like treating it like it's this like backwoods event, like
Agreed.
Like players, like people who play tennis know what doubles is.
Yeah.
And like, you know, if they just had more of it out there, I think that people would and like especially ATP doubles, like ATP doubles is freaking awesome.
It is. They're amazing. They're amazing.
Like
hand skills.
This is gonna sound super sexy, but like women's doubles, like you see a big gap just in terms of like strategy and stuff, but like men's doubles is incredible.
Well, because like the weaknesses that women like have in singles, it kind of shines through in doubles because like that's all doubles is, right? Like the scramble mode and the improv and the hand skills and all that, that's where like the women lack, whereas the women are better at like ball striking, right? Like some girls hit the ball harder than some of the guys, right? Like right, but all that other stuff, but that's all doubles is, right? So you're getting the max of that aspect of tennis, right? And like I agree, I think it's marketed absolutely terribly. It's looked at as like a demoted form of tennis, like a downgraded form of tennis, right? Like that's what it's marketed out to be.
And like it's really frustrating, and I get it, but like I think part of the problem is like the fact you have individual tournaments as opposed to like a tour that works together. But like there's just such little innovation in tennis from marketing perspective.
Yeah.
Like the marketing strategies in tennis are the same dog crap we've seen for 40 years.
Yeah.
Of like find a star player and just like ride as much as possible, right? Like that's all they do. Yeah. And then you end up with this game that like, you know, but like there's so much more to tennis that's just like not utilized from a marketing perspective.
Agreed.
Because like these like the tournament directors are too lazy to do a good job of marketing. Is what like Like the best example is Davis Cup. Like PK just ran that into the ground.
Marketed. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know much about golf, but I feel like they do a better job of marketing their sport.
Oh, they're incredible at it. I mean, they're way better. Way better.
Yeah. And also those crowds at the Ryder Cup were insane. Insane.
Right.
Crowds.
Right.
Like, did you see those rafters packed to the heavens? Like,
but I guess, but that's like, how much does it cost? It can't cost that much to get into Ryder Cup. I
actually want to go. Like, seeing that crowd, that was insane. Like, it's at Bethpage Black in New York in 24. Like,
I'm kind of tempted to go too, to be honest. Like, I don't even like love golf, but I think I would go just for the purpose of like.
I agree. Also, Ryder Cup is the best event to go because like there's only 4 pairings going on at once. So you get to see all the action. Whereas like
so here's the thing, like tickets for Ryder Cup are like 50 to 250, $300.
Yeah.
That's affordable.
It is.
Like for an event like of that stature and for the players that play in that event, like if you want to go watch like Djokovic play Nadal, and I'm just using like big 3 names, but if you want to watch like a top tier tennis match in like a quarter or semi of a slam, you're paying more than that.
You are. Yeah, I guess. I mean, we should go to a golf event at some point.
I think Ryder Cup will be the one. Ryder Cup will be a lot of fun.
Let's plan to go in 20. I think it's in 25. It's in 2 years. It's in New York. Page Black.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool.
So we'll plan.
We'll definitely plan it. Yeah, we'll definitely do it.
All right. Well, this is a tennis podcast, not a golf podcast. So I think it's time to sign out for the night. So.
Yeah, I agree. And thank you to all the followers. Apologies for getting this out late. I know it's always tough, but
yeah, it's tough. But we'll be back on hopefully Tuesday night to preview
Shanghai. Yeah.
Sounds good. All right. Have a good night, guys.
Bye, guys.